All right, so I just started this. I started wire wheeling it, and then I thought, man, I should be making a video about this. So what I'm doing here is I have a before picture. I'll insert that now, and then so yeah, that's what it looked like. And this is after one stage, which is I've been using, I mean, you could do it by hand, but this is a lot faster. This is all just rock chips from it being behind the truck. So I'm going to wire wheel all the rust out of those and then sand them, tape this light off, cover up the sides and everything, because all I want to repair is this fender, just because that's what looks bad. So I started on that, and the next step is to sand and sand and sand and sand until you can't really feel these bumps. Unless you sand for a really long time and end up doing pretty much all of the fender, you're not going to get rid of these completely unless you get all of the paint off, which is kind of a lot of work. So I'm kind of doing this the quick and easy way. I'm going to sand it as much as I can with just a little brick sand, a little by hand with a brick sander, and yeah, so that'll be how I'm gonna do this. So I'll set you up for time lapse, I'll let you watch that, and then I'll show you what it looks like after that. All right, that's what it looks like now after being sanded. I didn't sand it like a ton, but a good amount. It's pretty quite a bit of paint there came off, so you can still feel it. And I mean, I could spend more time and probably get it closer, but this is just the quick and dirty way of doing it. I'm just gonna get this painted and covered so it doesn't keep rusting. You can see we're down in bare metal at least, so the rust won't spread, and just get that cleaned up and looking nicer for the summer mowing season. Better advertisement with nicer looking equipment. So now what I'm gonna do, just wipe this excess off, get this cleaned up so the paint will have something better to stick to than flaky, dusty pieces of paint. Get it all wiped down good. And then if you wanted, you could use like water and dish soap or something to clean it off, and then just make sure you dry it good, but I don't have that with me right now, and this is not a professional way of doing this. It's just a quick and easy way, so it's not gonna be perfect, and it's just gonna happen again too. It's gonna be behind the truck all summer, just getting all chipped up again. So this is just to freshen it up for the summer as much as I can, just to maintain it a little bit, keep the rust from getting any worse at least. So that's kind of a every year kind of thing, but now that's clean, and start throwing some paint on it. I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. Okay, so now I'm going to cover up the wood so I don't make it look all spotty and weird. Now I may paint this wood eventually, not sure right now, so I'm just gonna cover it so I don't regret it later. So getting the wood covered. Oh, there's tape there. Get the wood all covered up so we don't get overspray on everything. So really I don't care about getting a little bit of paint on the tire. I'm gonna try not to. I shouldn't really get any on it at all. So that's not really a worry. Paint doesn't stick on rubber very well or for very long, so that's how I'm gonna cover it. So now what I've got is just Rust-Oleum paint primer, gloss black, pretty standard, matches most paint, most black paint at least. Cheap trailer paint, they don't use fancy stuff, so this will blend in pretty good. So I'm just gonna do a really light first coat on it, and then I'll come back and do maybe 2-3 more coats. Yeah, at least 2 more, I would say at least 3 coats total. So just to get a good nice thick layer of paint on there. But yeah, so let's get this going. Just remembered, did not cover this light, this little marker light. I gotta cover that, so gotta go get tape. Okay, so I've got the light covered. Don't mind the kids in the background. Just with a piece of tape off of a box. Nothing fancy. Now I can continue painting without worrying about it. All right, next 2 coats will be going on, and then I'll show you the final product. Alrighty, there is the final product. Now, if you, just right there, you can see how it's bumpy from all the chips. But I mean, if you look at it from a distance or whatever, it really looks much better than it did. I know there's gonna be people in the comments screaming at me for not sanding longer or whatever. If you want yours to look absolutely perfect, sand for longer. But mine, I just know this is gonna happen again immediately as soon as I drive it on gravel. I have big old fenders on my, or mud flaps on my truck, and it still happens. So I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time on it and effort to make it perfect just for it to happen again. So if you wanna make it perfect, you can sand longer and you will get it down to looking like up here. But I'm just not gonna put the time into that for a trailer. And I did the other side. I also did up here just a little because it was real bad. So yeah, same thing over here. This side was actually worse, and it turned out pretty good. Black, shiny. Obviously you can see the bumps, and the camera makes it look really a lot bumpier than it really does in person. It really doesn't look that bad. But if you wanted to put a bunch of effort and time into it, you could really get it down to looking real nice. But for what I do with this thing, it's not worth the time and the effort. So, but yeah, it looks 1,000 times better than it did, especially from a distance. Looks brand new. So I use it and abuse it every day, so it's not really worth all the time, but looks better than it did, and that's all I care. So I hope this was of help to you if you're wanting to fix this yourself. I did debate buying a sheet of like aluminum diamond plate and shaping it about up to here, about 3/4 or halfway up, and then riveting it on to just eliminate that completely, which I may still do that, I don't know yet. Or you could do a big rubber flap at the front just that sticks out and covers the fender, but I still don't think that would eliminate this problem completely. There's a lot of ways you could go about it, but nothing's ever going to solve it completely. But looks better. It's black again. Give you some different angles of it here. Man, that camera really picks up how bumpy it is. It almost looks worse on camera. But yeah, anyhow, that is my quick, easy way to fix it. And I got all the rust off at least, so it's not going to spread. And ready to just chip it again tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in. I hope this helps, and have a good one.